Greetings, crystalline, conscious, co-creators of illumination. We have one, beloved sisters and bro-stars of the light. Yes, love has won. There are signs and synchronicities everywhere. All is being revealed, and all is coming to fruition. There's another day of silent lucidity, silent serenity. From the silence emanates sound, and sound returns to the silence. We feel this through every atom, every cell, and our sacred vessel. So much is coming through the field now. Everything is accelerating, expanding. The divine emanations are being fully activated. Today, 333 energy coming through. Also 777. And on the way home tonight from work, as I was contemplating the 17 energies, multiple 17s and the 777, the vehicle in front of me on their license plate 7177. So the 17, the 71 coming through. And then today on the Schumann charts, we saw the 17 frequency. Also many blasts of white solar light, white cosmic light. Right now, 25 hertz frequency. And from disclosurenews.it, today reported at 10:30 UTC. If you had the opportunity to follow the evolution of the variations during the hours before this update, you will certainly have noticed the preparation for what is becoming what they are calling the coincidence 17, but I'll call the synchronistic 17. Even today from 1 UTC time, small variations and constant slight increase from the power of 15. After 8 hours of buzz, in quotes, at 9 UTC, barely touching the power of 17. And then at 17 on the chart, local time 10 UTC, it was at 17 hertz on the 17 mark on the Schumann chart. And then at 15 UTC, the power of 22. Just multiple blasts throughout the day, even into the evening hours. And then at 1700 UTC, the movements continue in the graph, and the values of the amplitude of the resonance continued in the constant increase from around 18 UTC for about 2 hours. It remained at the power of 25. Subsequently, there was a slight decrease, but with oscillations around 20 hertz. So I'll put the image of the chart. You can take a look at the end of this video with these interesting patterns on the chart. And the white blast, we had over 128 earthquakes in the past 24 hours, M1.5 or greater. The largest reported was 6.2 in the Aleutian Islands, but I also read earlier Alaska had around a 6.2 earthquake. And it was interesting today in the chart on earthquaketrack.com, about as far north as you can go on the map. This must be very close to the North Pole. There was an earthquake, which they say was north of Svalbard, or Svalbard. It's Svalbard at 4.7, 10 kilometers depth. And the whole ring of fire was active throughout the day. And we also had inland in China, Qinghai, Sichuan border in China, 4.3 magnitude. South of Panama, 4.8. Solomon Islands, right on the ring of fire, 4.9. 3.5 in Alaska, also on the ring of fire. Fiji Islands, ring of fire, 4.7. 5.5 in Argentina, South America, in the Andes, right east of the Andes Mountains. Puerto Rico again today, 3.0. And then a 4.3 Aleutian Islands, which is also right on the ring of fire. So this ring of fire around the Lemurian energies, the fire protecting the waters, the divine masculine connecting with the divine feminine, Also reported today, over 23 million people quarantined in China. Now, this is nothing to fear. This is what they're calling the coronavirus, which is interesting symbolism. Our prayers go out to all beings that are suffering from any of these shifts that are going on, but this is just some of the final releasing manifestations of letting go of the old false 3D matrix of separation and suffering. And all these signs and symbols throughout the collective are amping up, they're ramping up for the final release, for the final letting go, for the full activations as we're pushed beyond all thresholds into the new earth, into the new frequencies, the new manifestations. Keep living from your heart, experiencing and expressing your love for all life and all of humanity. Today's first transmission from Amanda Lawrence. The heart portal is a connection to the infinite. Do not sacrifice the heart for the needs, fears, not knowings, and lack experienced via the human mind. The brain has been so far a limited processor of experiences based on its pre-designed, limited interpretation of energy wavelengths, interpretation capability, a galactic timeline still to arrive of energetic pulse, increase our brain's wavelength, interpretational capability. Our brains have been incrementally igniting one step at a time for a time to come since everyone's awakening. You physically feel the changes and expansions in the head and then your body as the brain ignites more and more beyond any human force as it is being prepared. The natural way to physically ignite the brain to incrementally be upgrading its synapses, cells, neurons, pathways, fluid activities as preparation for more of the brain's capacity to be utilized in timelines to come is through each heart being love. So to say again, to not sacrifice the heart because of the mind, but to allow the mind to be open to access the heart, the infinite. All else will just follow naturally so. One love, Amanda Lawrence. And from Pars Kute, there are such beautiful, purifying plasma light code frequencies that are illuminating the grid around our planet as the activation of source light is infused within the outer atmosphere surrounding our Earth. Gradually, this divine light is strongly impacting the magnetic core within our Earth plane. There are so many things happening at the moment for us to individually realign within for reconnection to the sacred part of ourselves, our true multidimensional selves. This is our time to evolve consciously by actively engaging within the many new paths that are opening to us in the now moment. Remember, all connection to these openings is made through our own heart space, and this is our time to move within our sacred higher selves, within a space of pure source consciousness, of oneness with all that is. And now affirmations of magnetism, which I'll post a link in the description below to primedisclosure.com/heart portal for these affirmations and everything else that I speak of in this transmission today. So affirmations of magnetism. When I am at one with my creative source and constantly affirm this union through my thoughts, feelings, and actions, my magnetism is a highly transforming, invincible force. The pure love of my greater being and that of the supporting universal energy is not personalized. It's all consciousness that resides in the field of one, a magnetically charged field of selflessness that is in service to the whole. I am a magnetic server. My human ego is tamed and no longer the driver. It is the greater higher self that is sitting in the front seat as my chief navigator, maintaining emotional balance, inner peace, and embodying the spirit of goodwill and tolerance towards all is the key to my magnetic service. My magnetic field radiates out in all directions. It expands and expands, always furthering its reach as my momentum and service builds. The more expanded I am in consciousness, the greater is the area covered by my outgoing energy waves. Coherent and harmonized consciousness fields produce strong magnetism. Participating in a magnetic collective occurs through a willingness to blend and harmonize my mind into a unified whole. When my individual motives are combined with the others of the same integrity, we experience ourselves as magnetically irresistible and with greater ability to manifest. The unified field sustains us, and so it is. Beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am that I am. And from Elizabeth Peru, something special is occurring within your heart. Loving wisdom is being experienced. As this week each of us will be focused on the highest good of all, great changes begins as a wave of green light encircling our globe. Something quite special is happening on Earth right now. We're being showered in a high-level cosmic light that directly opens our heart space and slows down the overactive personality. Your brain could feel like it's working less. Your intuition and inner trust has taken over. This energy flow may feel quite different to many. You may think that you're not doing enough, but beloved beings of light, you are doing everything that is asked and needed of you in this final mission for the Great Awakening. And from Astro Mama, new moon in Aquarius, inner freedom leads to peace, embracing the wild unknown. Let the sun shine in. On January 24th, which will be tomorrow as of this recording, it could be today or yesterday, depending on when you're listening to this transmission, the moon on the 24th, which rules our emotions, intuition, and inner core, becomes new at 4 degrees of Aquarius. So happy new moon in Aquarius. New moons are always a time of fresh starts and represent initiation, beginnings, and a new chapter. Aquarius, the 11th zodiac sign, is known to be the rebel, the genius, the detached one, and the innovator. The new moon in Aquarius is here to liberate our fears and encourage our independence, originality, and desire to move forward. Aquarius, being an air sign, is very intellectual and often quite headstrong. Aquarius energy is very concentrated, and despite their detachment, always fights for what is equal and fair. We are ready to stand up for our freedom and go after our true heart's desires. If you have been repressed in any certain way, this new moon wants to liberate your soul and call you forth to express your true authenticity. When Aquarius is present, you never know what to expect. It is a part of their charm, but also their mystery. Expect the unexpected is the motto of La Luna, anew in the sign of the water bearer. More than likely, this new moon will conjure up some kind of surprise, and it could be shocking and disruptive. One of the other reasons this new moon will be one of surprises is the harsh square or 90-degree aspect the new moon makes to Uranus in Taurus. Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius, is known to bring sudden events, shocks, evolution, and revolution. Uranus in Taurus, squaring the new moon in Aquarius, will lead to some tense and unpredictable emotions to rise to the surface. Again, if there has been any suppression of emotions or unwillingness to face a situation, this could all come up to be seen at this new moon. Uranus square the new moon will bring unexpected change and a struggle for independence and true sovereignty. Emotional outbursts and tantrums could be a result of this tense aspect. We will be on the edge of our seats and ready to move forward to an unknown space of possibility, but at the same time there will need to be a clearing of the air in some areas of our lives. The truth could come up and out and might be sudden and without much warning. Uranus doesn't just shock. His mission is always to enlighten and encourage soul growth. If you are confronted by erratic behavior and emotion at this new moon, Know that its purpose is to bring an awareness of perspective and evolution. There are always lessons to learn. This new moon as a harsh angle to Uranus will perhaps unexpectedly make that very clear and apparent. The new moon in Aquarius is here to encourage you to step into unknown territories. No other sign is able to create something from nothing like a genius-inspired Aquarian. We are ready to take off the masks of protection and let our freak flags fly. If you have been wanting to pursue your dreams or begin a new project, this is an excellent new moon to go after your destiny. The Aquarian new moon wants you to honor yourself with complete faith and trust. It's not your problem if others don't understand or get your magnificence. It is a problem, however, if you don't honor that within your own self. It's time to leave the haters and non-sayers to play their games of self-pity and neglect. Focus on yourself and step forward into a new destiny of promise and prestige. La Luna anew in the rebel sign of Aquarius is here to encourage your inner freedom, embrace the wild unknown, and let the sun shine in to liberate your soul to greener pastures. This new moon will be most significant if you have inner planets, Sun, Mars, in around 4 degrees of Aquarius. This is from astromama.com. And from the Tzolk'in Times, Kin 195, Blue Cosmic Eagle. Today is the final day of the Blue Night Wave spell. And tomorrow, on the 24th, will begin the Yellow Warrior Wave spell, Kins 196 to 208, 24 January to the 5th of February, 2020. The Blue Night Wave spell, or today being the Blue Cosmic Eagle. Cosmic is the name for the number 13, and its keywords are transcend, endure, and presence. It's the last day of the Blue Night Wave spell, and today we evaluate the journey and try to understand its lessons before moving on to the next. Today is Blue Eagle, which represents creativity, vision, and mind. Blue Eagle days are all about seeing the big picture. Step back and look at your life. What do you see? Consider all angles and vantage points before making any decisions today. And if you see any problems, use creative solutions to solve them. Today is the Cosmic Eagle, so bear in mind that you may have to endure to see things from a higher perspective. The guide today is the Blue Storm, which symbolizes sweeping changes. When storm guides expect some chaos and disruption, it's not always a bad thing. When storms come along, it can refresh the air and blow away the cobwebs in your brain. Accept it rather than fight it. And from Christina Papagiorgio, Blue Cosmic Eagle, Kin 195, 23 January 2020. Creating the greatest vision of them all. 23/1/2020, 5/1/22, equals 6/4, equal 10, equaling 1. 23, the royal star of the lion, strength, protection, support, grace. 5, change, transformation, freedom. 10, manifestation, leadership, power. 1, new beginnings. Kin 195, equal 15, equal 6. Heaven, Christ consciousness, harmony, love, romance. An expansive day of transcendental visions, of glorious peace and abundance. As we arrive at day 13, the final day in the Blue Night Wave spell of dreams, intuition, and abundance, where we are collectively dreaming the new world into reality. Today, as we close this 13-day journey with Akbal, our intuitive and sensitive Blue Night, we have arrived at the point of pure presence of cosmic abundance. As we arrive at the peak of the highest mountain, we look around 360 degrees, and from our lofty platform we can see through the eyes of the enlightened ones seeing the new world before us. Embracing the cosmic abundance and pure presence of Pachamama, we have arrived and can see the bigger picture, envisioning a brighter future for our new world and all of Earth's inhabitants. Tone of creation. Cosmic is the last and final tone of creation, the highest octave. The 13 operates in the spiritual realm. 13 is the mystical number of the cosmic order. the goddess in the synchronic natural time. Cosmic action transcends power, endures essence, presence. Thus today you have incredible spiritual power at your disposal to transcend all those scarcity patterns and limited poverty, consciousness, and suffering, where the old world and all its trappings dissolve into the cosmic mists. We can transform them by our pure presence, translating into pure bliss. We have arrived. Add some, I am here. This is the stage of having transcended the physical, emotional, and mental realms and arriving at cosmic consciousness. So today we can be still and realize the connectedness of all things through the realm of dreamtime, transcending all but the power of pure consciousness through the frequency of pure internal presence in our united dreaming. Finally, let's go cosmic, the transcendent dynamic that runs the whole show, the all-encompassing everything that is the cosmic 13, perfectly transcends, taking magic flight and returning to the one, magnetic tone, one, once again. The dreamers have awakened from their slumber. The new world has risen. Alleluia. Today's question is, how can we unleash the greatest vision of peace, joy, and abundance for all beings on our beautiful planet? And so we bid adieu to Akbal, the awakened dreamer, who has guided our journey through the abyss of our collective unconscious, uncovering the path to our greatest dreaming over the last 13 days, transcending limitations to claim our cosmic abundance that has always been available and waiting for us to claim and bring it forth into our new reality. Tomorrow we commence a brand new wave spell with Sib, the fearless rainbow warrior, who will guide us to forge a new path to a beautiful new world. And so, our journey through the dream spell continues. Divine blessings for your transcendence into pure cosmic abundance. Aho. Kin 195, Blue Cosmic Eagle. The mantra, the code for today is, I endure in order to create. Transcending mind, I seal the output of vision. With the cosmic tone of presence, I am guided by the power of self-generation. On this final day and night of the Blue Night Wave spell of sacred abundance and healing, we feel the power of the sacred feminine divine healing waters. In the sacred spiritual alchemy and in the Taoist arts, the blue symbolizes the great feminine yin energies of the healing waters. The red symbolizes the sacred fires, the divine masculine of yang energy. We have the yin and yang energies merging, uniting in harmony and peace. So in our vessel, our sacred bodies, in the lower dantian, in the belly, we can symbolize it with the red of the fire, the middle dantian with the white of source, the still white magnetic light of pure light, in the center, and the upper dantian, in the brain, in the skull, we can see the blue, the red, white, and blue, which we see symbolized in the flag of the United States of America, the United States of Consciousness, as world bridgers, as the Rainbow Bridge fully activated. And we see this also in the right hand and the left hand path, or the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain. The left hemisphere of the brain symbolized as the masculine, the logical, the linear, you could see as the red, and the right hemisphere of the brain, the creative, the non-linear, the feminine energies, you could see as the blue. And the left side of the body connects to the right hemisphere of the brain, so many times you see the left-hand path, the blue path of the healing waters of Venus energies, and the right side of the body for the left connected to the left hemisphere of the brain, the red hand path, the red of the fires of Mars, the martial arts, the Qi Gongs, the Gong Fus. And you see this through the colors, the frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum. The white light of source shining through the prism creates the 7 colors of the electromagnetic spectrum, or the 7 colors of the chakras, the rainbow bridge through the sacred vessel. The lowest, the red in the root. Below that, the infrared, and into the black of the unconscious of the still void. Through the red, and then the orange of the sacral, the yellow of the solar. So we see the yellow or the gold, the yellow gold of the sun, the masculine fire, the solar plexus, and then the green of the heart center, the blue of the throat, purple of the third eye, violet into the crown, into the ultraviolet, the higher frequencies, and returning to the white, the still white light that permeates all, and beyond the still white light, the pure, clear light of bliss. Beyond that, into the unknowable, infinite, unborn, pure awareness of the great mystery. Aho. Let us know in the comments below what you're experiencing through these great shifts and through the great awakening. Let us know what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, your visions for New Earth, your visions for this golden age. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Click the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe to get notified on future uploads, updates. One last thing before I bid adieu. The symbolism of the 17 coming through, I forgot to mention earlier, is you see this through this Q collective, through this Q energy. And this is a multi-dimensional energy, multi-dimensional frequency. This is connecting the Earth Alliance to the star nations and to our higher selves, our higher energy. Obviously, the 17, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Alpha, beta, A and B. The alpha into the omega, the beginning into the end. The end being a new beginning. The end of the old, creating space for the beginning of the new earth, the new Eden. Also, Q is the symbol or the code of high-level military intelligence. It's also one of the lost gospels of the New Testament. There's several books written about this, the lost gospel of Q, and Q from the German word Quell, Quelle, meaning source. So this is the connecting energy to source, the relinking. Also the Q can symbolize freeing consciousness from the simulation of the prison or the prism of the infinite time loop, or the prison of time, the prison of linear time or looping time. The Ouroboros, freeing from the cycle of birth and death, of the spell of the infinite time loops, the dream within the dream, an awakening to our true self, our true nature, and reuniting, rebirthing into our infinite, conscious, multi-dimensional, eternal bliss awareness. Have a beautiful and blessed day and night of eternal life. I love you all. Namaste.